31 minutes on the dot. That makes sense. Well, if you're reading the title of this video, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. This video has been it's been a long time coming. Long time coming. In fact, it's quite funny how that played out. Just got done talking to one of Satan's little helpers a minute ago, even though I love him. I love a lot of people. I love everybody. But spiritual warfare is real. And I'm just now accepting Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I'm still in the energy of it. Hits me a little weird, which is okay. That's okay. That's that little part inside of me dying off. That's good. I've went through too much, and I did too much to not have more faith than 99% of the people around me. It's like, fuck, It's just, he finally decided to break that barrier of mine and be like, listen, dude, that's my name. I was like, oh, no. And he's like, what's the problem with that? I was like, nothing. It's just one of those. Yeah, it's harder to have a relationship with God when you actually are getting deeper into the relationship. That's right, motherfucker, I'm real. Let me get in my car. Let me talk. We're going to be talking about Jesus. Yeah, I know. I did not think this is going to happen. I didn't think this was going to happen. I'm still in the process, but I've waited enough days to where now I can make a video about it. Keep your breakthroughs private. Yeah. Let it get some foundation. Let the seed grow to a strong enough plant where it ain't gonna get trampled. Anyway, let me get in my car. I'm not gonna lose my loving, caring, childlike humor. I'm not gonna just fall right into cult religion, but to say that I've made it so far that 99% of this is probably accurate. Hang on, let me do some of this stuff. Blow my nose. Let me get all disgusting. I'm fasting at the moment. Oh, too much light. Ooh, is it too bright? It's funny because I realize now that my little thingy-bob right here actually looks like a cross. And I made it myself. That's funny. Oh, yeah, I've accepted Jesus. I mean, I have. I'm really waiting for the moment to where it's not so weird to go away so I can hurry up and start doing speeches and stuff. But, I mean, if you really think about it, years ago, I was given an audio tape series from the richest and most powerful people on the planet. The devil owns most of the material world, so basically some man who went down that path, made his billions, understood that he was helping the wrong side, decided to give it all up and went 10 years in prison and became broke just to give people the secret recipe to success. That secret recipe being, who do you listen to? Teachability index. Basically, every day you're going to look around at life and think about who are you listening to. And at first it starts out with like your parents and like teachers, people that have what you want, have been where you are. Well, my parents have not succeeded in things that I want, so I guess I stopped listening to them. The teachers at the school are teaching things that they don't know anything about. They're just told to teach it. You'll look at life differently. And eventually it'll lead, like it did to me, in a car ride with Satan in the back seat of my car, in a knowing that I have to go kill myself to save somebody. Who do you listen to? I ended up listening to God. Teachability index, what are you willing to give up? I was willing to give up my car, my stuff, the drugs. I literally threw it right out the window. My life. Now I'm sitting here dealing with Jesus knocking on my door. Haven't I given you enough? No. The funny thing is, I've given up so much to get to this point, only an idiot would turn away. Giving up my family, my friends. fake friends, fake family. Giving up everything. Don't eat. Almost just autopiloted. Don't eat. Don't touch that stuff. Throw that shit over there. Go over there a little farther away. Ah, no, Jesus, why? You are real. Anyway, it's crazy because I totally saw the holy people, or God, in Native American territory on a mountain named Sangre de Cristo, which means blood of Christ, and I literally put my hands on a gravestone that was a cross, a Celtic cross. So I literally bowed down to a cross and then washed away my sins in the moon above my head, God, and then saw heaven on earth while dealing with Satan and some malignant narcissist trying to stab the shit out of me. And even though all that happened and a bunch of other stuff, I keep going, a bunch of other stuff. I went through a bunch of other stuff. It's quite obvious that it's like, there's things that I know that I've experienced that doesn't make this feel so culty. Because it does. At first it feels a little cult-like to me. I did not like religion. I never liked religion. And I never liked, like I said, never liked Jesus. That's weird. I just didn't get into any of that. I never got into any of that growing up. And, it's quite obvious my mission in life is this. Like, I could do other things, but it's quite obvious that my mission in life is to spread the gospel now. And, that's going to be a trip for everybody that knows me. I don't regret astrology or spirituality or any of that stuff. It all led me to here. A lot to swallow, a lot to take in, to be honest with you. Jesus be talking to me all day now. Or at least sending me stuff. But, I can literally look at my whole life and see all the correlations, and, it's quite obvious. Basically, right now, where I'm at is everybody's God. All of you have the I am divine spark within you. Something happened in in Christianity. There's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And the basic way I understand that is there is infinite intelligence, that which knows all, created all, and wanted to experience itself. That would be the Father. And we're living our lives getting to experience desires and dreams, which is all good. But there was this virus or fuck up, in a universe of infinite possibilities. Maybe it was planned. It doesn't really seem like it, but it definitely happened. And so we got Satan and basically this virus that is the opposite of light. It's just shadow being. Opposite of love, that basically mimics and mirrors everything that actual God's doing. So it's got its own kingdom down here, its own followers, and it rules through ignorance. So it basically plays out that you're born in a world where you don't remember anything. And I'm not saying that you go to hell if you don't accept Jesus. I'm saying that the year's 2025 and you're aware now. Chances are you've been here so long you don't even know. So the only way to get out of this firewalled video game matrix that we're in is to be pure. You're not allowed to leave here with this virus that's encoded in you. As somebody who's literally witnessed demons outside of my body, it's quite obvious that everybody's dealing with that, whether they've had that experience yet. Recently, Jesus helped me remove some sin. I repented, which was kind of trippy. And immediately I could see again, which is my ability to perceive reality away from the illusion, the Maya, and hear. God give you eyes to see and ears to hear. I got all my powers back, and it was quite obvious I fell back into the drug addiction due to due to the weakness of the flesh or whatever. It's just true, like, you know. So anyway, it's complicated. I'm not trying to get too caught, but you know, many people on this planet have tapped into the Father, aka the highest, you know, where you're kind of heading back to. I say this because I am not a belief. I'm not under the belief or illusion that I'm going to be serving Jesus till the day for infinity. I don't believe that. I believe that I'm being helped by a soul who transcended enough to the point where they didn't even have to be here, but they decided to drop back down here anyway, and show it how it's done in order to break the spell or curse that has been set up. So he had to go through a bunch of suffering. You know, this fuck up energy that Satan's produced. And anyway, and because of that, yeah, I literally asked God, and I literally felt bad for masturbating high on meth recently. I just couldn't get away from this drug addiction. Like, I mean, I went for years and I just could not get away. It still found its way back to me. And recently I kind of ended up doing all the drugs again. I drank beer that led to cigarettes, that led to weed, that led to me just going, you know what, fuck it, I'm already here, let's do some meth. And, you know, recently I was masturbating for like 30 hours straight, and I was sitting there talking to God, denying him, and I was just sitting there like, it kind of just hit me about how like, just, no, fuck you. I was being, I was like, what the fuck is this? And I stopped what I was doing, I took a walk, and I felt my power come back. All these, you know, I was getting spiritually attacked. I was on these drugs. I was getting siphoned of my energy. I was hearing, you know, hi, coming next to me. Just imaginary shit, shadow beings moving around, fear kicking in, false illusions all around me. You know, here, like, I'll be trying to talk and I hear someone be like, hey, buddy, what's up? You know, little whispers of demons and stuff. And it just kind of hit me. I was like, fuck this. And I got out of my car and I took a walk. I had energy kind of come into me. And even though I didn't sleep for 4 fucking days straight, I never slept for 4 fucking days straight, barely ate anything, I had all the strength to walk a long distance. And when I took this long walk, I was led to go to a hill, just kind of like my story that I have about me going to the mountain. And I put my hands in the air. I could feel God. It was a moon and, you know, everything. I could feel the burning in my hands. And I got cleansed, and I was led to go to take a cold shower at the gym. So I took a cold shower. And very quickly, a lot of the voices and shadow illusions of fear and stuff, I was like, shut the fuck up, 13. I said, shut the fuck up. I was like, you know, shut the fuck up. I'm not falling for this shit anymore. And it's quite obvious the guy who gave me the meth was like a snake. It's so easy to see now that dude's just possessed by a dark spirit. He's like, yeah, keep coming back. Oh yeah, it's good. Happy to hear that you're, you know, doing the right thing. You know, be easy on yourself. It's hard to quit meth. You know, just do it slowly. Once in a while isn't so bad. Like, this is coming from a guy who just got out of prison for selling blues to people, which is like fucking, if you know what blues are, whatever the fuck. I don't know why I'm brain farting on that shit that's like heroin that kills people all the time. Fentanyl, thank you. Anyway, so it's like stupidly obvious. It's like, oh my God, I'm sitting here giving my power away, my energy away, letting lust take over me. I literally asked for forgiveness, and I meant it, and then like all lust went away. My desire to get high on anything went away. It's been like a week now, almost a week. And, you know, I don't really give a fuck about how other people perceive that. Yeah, I just got done walking down the street, saw little old Georgie over there. And, you know, I don't hate people. I love everybody. But, you know, some people are possessed by dark spirits. And their mission is to destroy you and to get you off your path. Anyway, and I was like, you know what? Let's walk up and see what George has to say. Because, to be honest with you, nothing's gonna pull me back. And I you know, I could tell, you could see my sunshine, my little light. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Give him a little light shining. I walk up and he was like, yeah, no reason to get off. You're beating yourself up over it, buddy. Like, seriously, it's really, really hard quitting all that drugs at once, so, no reason to beat yourself up. So, just a little at a time, do it in doses. And I was like thinking to myself, I don't want to get a hit hole. This guy's trying so hard. The level of temptation he's trying to throw out there just not landing at all. That sucks. Sucks to be you, dude. Anyway, so yeah, I've accepted Jesus. It's still kind of getting weird. I'm still weird about it. It's just because it's weird to say that. It's just weird to say that, I mean, I've had so many people walk up and say, Jesus loved me and shit. And it's like, yeah, get out of here, you fucking creeper. You know what? If Jesus loves me, why do you gotta send people that be so fucking weird about it? Why can't you be more normal? Why can't you be some more authentic in yourself about it? Why do I gotta feel so fucking weird all the time? Anyway, it's not that. It's just, it's so obvious. When I went to trucking school, Justin Nolan believed in Jesus, and he was the one who fed me. I wouldn't have had food. When I traveled from Missouri and I went to Michigan, that led to me going all the way to the Florida Keys to meet a man who sailed across the ocean, and I knew it was the guy I was meant to meet because I was trained by a billionaire named Kevin, and this guy was named Kevin. He wrote books. He's about worth $10 million. He wrote... Anyway, he accepted Jesus, and it's like I'm sitting there on a sailboat in the Florida Keys. I'm like, I traveled all this way to meet this guy, and I'll never forget when I met him. We would look over, and there'd be like dozens of people staring at us like, fuck you. Fuck you. You think you're going to win? You think you're going to win this shit? Fuck you. And it's just so obvious. Like, those people are completely oblivious that they're doing it, but they're unaware. They're like, they'll probably go to the store and completely forget that they were standing there for like 15 solid minutes staring at random people, but the dark spirits that possessed them were like beaming it at us. So anytime me and this dude were talking, it's quite obvious that Satan's army was doing whatever the fuck it could to try to stop me from meeting this guy, because it would be such a big influence. I can keep going. Let's see. I got a lot. I got so much on the Jesus. When I first left my mom's, the last time I was at my mom's house, she's a narcissist, so she's not, again, I don't believe in this whole people are fucked. When I look at a child walking down the street who hasn't accepted Jesus, I'm not like in some weird fucking mindset of they're burning in hell for eternity. I'm not, best believe I'm not, my perception and what God has shown me is not, with what everyone else is understanding. So it's definitely a big topic, a lot to talk about, a lot to learn. But anyway, when you start accepting God, you'll start seeing the world through his eyes. The fire of Christ will be in you, because as a soul who's been trapped down here, my perception of Jesus might be different than others, but from what I understand, as a soul who's been trapped down here, he mastered it through many lifetimes. I don't really believe it was just this one lifetime. I believe Jesus lived many lifetimes. And it just got to the point where he transcended enough to come back here. And there's a lot of people here that are trapped here, And I do believe at some point you'll find yourself in alignment back with God, where you'll have your freedom to, at the lower level, you're enslaved. At the higher level, you have more freedom. So you'll have the freedom to travel across the infinite universe of possibilities of creation and do what you want when you transcend high enough. But you really are there's a spiritual warfare going on. It's a battle. It's a real battle that's happening. And since Jesus has made it as far as he did and did what he did, there's like I said, I was told, who do you listen to? People that have what you want, have been where you are. Eventually that path will lead you to here, because trust me, everything you want, Jesus has already tapped into. And so listening to somebody who's walked that narrow path, you'll do it too. And you might have to you'll go through suffering and pain in order to learn, in order to be transformed into the person you're meant to be, your higher self that is. And I believe you have a higher self, I believe I have a higher self up there. It's just, there's something going on about us being trapped down here. Instead of being deleted, God's like, all right, to be honest with you, with what Satan is, and it shouldn't be something that should ever be released. It's it's quite amazing the fact that we're even given a chance to get out of here. But yeah, I don't, I'm still learning. I'm still in the process, and I use my emotional guidance system. I will admit the Bible makes sense now because I've gotten discernment. I've gotten these gifts from God. I only got a few more minutes to talk. But because I've gotten these gifts, I can see the truth in the Bible. When I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. That's like the only Bible verse I ever knew, and it came in handy when I was walking towards my death. I literally had a moment where I walked through a shadow where I couldn't tell if I was going to fall through the floor. Like, it was crazy. And I didn't have any fear in my heart, but I could feel fear, or at least that which was evil, all around me, and I was protected in a bubble of love. It was really cool. I like how I'm wearing my Saint or Sinner shirt. just off the bat, I don't even get to read it, but Saint or Sinner. You're my plane. Anyway, see, I only got a few more minutes. I was led, when I first left my mom's, the last thing that happened was, she called the police, and God was giving me the eyes to see and the ears to hear. I could just see through this little situation where my mom does this repetitive pattern of crying, fake crocodile tears, victim mentality. It's quite obvious that I'm just dealing with some kind of demonic spirit that didn't want me to evolve, because if I change, then I can change others and add more to the right team. And so I remember one of the 2 cops that came, maybe there's 3 cops, I don't remember, but only one cop was really upstairs dealing with me. Another cop, I think, was talking to my mom in the basement, and I think there was a 3rd cop who floated between as a medium. But I'll never forget, I was upstairs, and my mom's screaming and crying, and she's throwing, I don't know, I met my wit's end, and all this crazy drama. And this other cop could see me. He could see me. And he called me Christopher. And my name's like Nick Dyer. Like, what the fuck? It got nothing to do. But that was after I had my experience with the cross and the snow and the mountains under the stars and the moon, and saw Satan and saw a bunch of things I can't even describe right now. It's too much. But anyway, yeah, that fire, that Christ light, the light of Christ was in me. So I think it says somewhere in the Bible that Christ is a mirror or a representation of the Father. You can't get to the Father through me, aka he beat through the matrix. There's a fucking pathway. We're all stuck down here, and that makes sense. Not so much getting fucked up over the human being that is Jesus, that was the human being that was Jesus, or even getting so fucked up as to believe I have to sit here and serve this God forever, because that sounds demonic. One of the reasons why I didn't like a lot of the religions, it does sound their God's very demonic. And so I'm just now tapping into it. But regardless of all that, I'm not going to deny my emotional guidance system. That was a God-given thing. You were given this ability. And so, they called me Christopher. And he was the only cop there who was could see me. He was gentle, when they were patting me down to see if I had any weapons on me. He did it very gently. He didn't want to disturb me. It was really deep. It was really weird. And when I left, I ended up traveling all the way to Florida, to where some girl was, of course it was about lust. I saw some hot chick, and it basically ended up, I don't know, I think she walked up to me, I don't remember, but basically she used that to her advantage to get me to go to a church. And when I went to the church, I met a man who basically described his entire life just like me. He said all my family and friends turned on me. Blah, 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 blah. He went through these same experiences. And he said, I lived on the streets for 3 years. 3 years I lived on those streets. And now I have a family, I have riches, I have a wife, I have, everything you can imagine. And you could see a fire in this dude's eyes. It was very intimidating. It was the most intimidating dude besides that malignant narcissist I met. But this guy's intimidating in a different way, because I don't really feel like he was going to hurt me. But anyway, there was a fire in his eyes, and I got anointed. I got oil poured on my head, and it was under a full moon, and everything was perfect. And I always remember that day, because you listen to people that have what you want, have been where you are, and this guy described everything about where I've been, and said 3 years, and it's now been 3 years, and now I'm just now accepting Jesus. Yeah, it's 3 years on the day, 3 years on the month. It's January. I left in January. Yeah. Well, I got a few minutes left. I was like, I'll accept you, but I sure as fuck ain't gonna be one of those cringy ass people walking around and be like, accept Jesus. Bow down before your Christ the Lord and Savior. I'm doing this out of love. I'm doing this because I felt love. I know what unconditional love feels like. I know what unconditional love was there for me while my family and my friends weren't and betrayed me. And so, it just so happens that I'm finally ready to hear the fact that actually my name's Jesus. And I was like, oh. I was like, oh, no. No, they were right. They were right. Oh, it's crazy. I don't want to be a Jesus freak. I don't want to be a Jesus freak. Oh, all right. I should be dead by now, so. That alone, I should have been ripped apart by dogs on that mountainside. Wolves. So, yeah, I've accepted Jesus. Yeah, big whoop. Just kidding. I guess I'm going to start spreading the word, though I plan on doing it in an effective way. I'm not going to be sitting over here, talk to people at their current teachability index. I didn't learn all that I learned for nothing. If people were to try to throw that shit on me, yeah, I will admit, looking back, it's kind of like I was given the left side of the zipper, or the right, so whatever, and, I can look at all the moments of Jesus popping up, and now I can zip it up. That makes sense. Now that I've gotten one end of it to be accepted, I can look back at my whole life and see all the ignorance that I've built up to just deny it, which is crazy. Anyway, I only got a few minutes left, so yeah. I'm a Jesus freak now. I mean, I'm still spiritual. I don't deny all the things that I've learned up to this point. But I guess I got to learn more about the Bible because now that I can see and hear based on these gifts of discernment that I've been given, I can see actually the value in the Bible, which is crazy. Though I'd also see some problems in all this too, which would make sense after thousands of years. Satan's going to get his grip into shit when he does that. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually excited. I know what my purpose is. I wanted to be a comedian. It's like I didn't think I'd be Bible thumping. I'm still digesting this. But yeah, I love you, and I just want you to find love, and I will admit it. I'm trying to understand how I'm going to be walking around telling people about Jesus. Jesus, Yahweh. But it is important. I don't look at people like they're damned or anything. I just, I can tell you right now, it's such an easier life. I can already feel it. It's such an easier life. Well, I gotta go. I can feel I gotta go. But I love you. And, I hope you find Jesus, I guess. Have mercy on me. It's such a trip. I can hear him talking to me. All right, I gotta go. I love you.